Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between GodFather versus Ag3nt. This game taken from, well, the W3 Champions ladder, as we see Ag3nt spawning as the red human on the top left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we have GodFather spawning as the yellow undead spawning on the bottom right hand side of Tide Hunters. Gonna get the game to the 2-minute mark as always, as well time is precious, and we are going to be looking at, well, a Dreadlord first. A strategy and style that I have not seen in quite some time. Dreadlord first, I think made popular by Side back in the day. Side back in the day when he was trying to play on those Asian servers with the higher rate of ping, and in knowing that Death Coil is just that much more difficult to time and get surrounds with, opting to go for Sleep instead. So Dreadlord opening up first, gonna go ahead and get a quick surround on a Footman. Sleep was that first ability, and Footman quickly slept and taken down. Dreadlord first, we'll see how that opening plays out, as we're going after the gargantuan sea turtle first from Ag3nt. Not the normal expansion creep camp at all, as this could end up becoming a bit of a problem. Water Elemental already absorbing, well, all of his 500 points of life, and now Archmage may try and drop a second Water Elemental here. Militia now quickly retreating back. This Militia may also quickly retreat back, and this is just the style of play here. The gargantuan sea turtle dealing 39 to 46 damage. Is he going to retreat back? Yes, he is. And now they are just fighting their way right here, dropping in another Water Elemental. That gargantuan sea turtle shifting abilities, constantly changing aggro, picking up a potion of greater mana. Meanwhile, Dreadlord doing the same exact thing on the south side here. And this may be a bad day for GodFather, as he quickly tries to clear after a creep camp and may end up getting crept jack. No, he is not. Ag3nt taking the long way round, not realizing that the game could have been already within his grasp right here. Archmage now makes his way back around. We are going to be looking at this expansion pretty much cleared up here. Ghouls, skeletal minions, trying to finish off this last gargantuan sea turtle. Meanwhile, in the main base, Ag3nt does have a potion of greater mana, meaning he has access to 2 more water elementals and is already pushing on through. Ghouls trying to retreat back. Scroll of Town Portal now being used here as the water elementals are trying to fight here. Where is that Archmage going to go? He could turn back around. No, gets slept, and now is pretty much going to be forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal as well. Trading Scroll of Town Portals, taking down a couple of ghouls. There goes another ghoul right there. And, well, no acolytes were lost in the process. Back off to the north here, it looked as though there was, well, not quite sure what happened there. One dead acolyte doing a little bit of harassment here, and even though Ag3nt has already cleared out his expansion location, has opted not to try and use it. All right, we should be looking at a clarity potion there and a scroll of regeneration. Not that much damage on any of those footmen, as they are perhaps going to try and head off somewhere else, head off to the north and clear out some more creep camps already sitting at level 3. Coming back off to the other side, ghouls, skeletal minions now making their way off to the north as well. Dreadlord has a potion of greater healing. Both sides opted to clear out relatively difficult creep camp. Staff of teleportation, water elemental already down, and now GodFather being forced to retreat back with that ghoul, who should be able to make it back home with no real problems whatsoever, as the ghoul, well, perhaps tries to go in for a possible flank. Archmage coming around the other side as well. There are militia, there are peasants joining in. Perhaps he expects that there's an expansion here for him to try and put and pressure down, but no, nothing really of that nature. Dreadlord has a good amount of mana. Archmage of Ag3nt looks to see if there's an expansion there, does not see one, and both sides have not yet teched to tier 2. No expansions, no tech to tier 2. Both sides expecting the other one to have teched and then wanted to put pressure. Instead, we are looking at Ag3nt now placing down towers inside his opponent's base. With the potion of greater mana, he has the ability to summon a couple of additional water elementals as well, and that could be enough to cause problems. Archmage now still trying to run around, could perhaps try and drop a water elemental. There's a staff of teleportation. Is he going to be able to break free? That is the question right right there. Meanwhile, the footmen are going after the acolytes. Archmage going to drop a water elemental. Staff of teleportation should be trying to get back out already. What is he doing? Archmage going to get taken down, and he does get taken down. All right, so a bit of an overcommitment right there, and now Carrion Swarm ripping on through, dealing massive damage to not only the towers, but some of those peasants as well, as the footmen are now going after the acolytes here. Acolytes will need to be retrained as more peasants getting taken down as well. GodFather in a great spot once more peasants still trying to build up towers, and I believe all of those will just be canceled here, but so much of the economy of GodFather is also in trouble. Only 2 acolytes left, with a third one being trained, and there is still more damage being added on here. All right, additional damage. Acolyte could end up getting taken down. Carrion Swarm ripping through, getting up level 4 odd Zealous Dreadlord. Dreadlord now going in for Vampiric Aura. There goes another Acolyte as well. Down to 2 Acolytes once more, training up a third one again, as the footmen want to finish off these Acolytes, but unable to do so. So Ag3nt has crippled GodFather's economy. Footmen are now retreating back. And after all is said and done, who is better off? Archmage, resurrected at the tavern with the Scroll of Regeneration, coming back across here, sees that there is a ghoul, going to get some damage onto that ghoul, perhaps try and retreat back. Footmen are right there as well to get in a little bit of pathing, and that's just going to open up damage onto that ghoul as well, as that ghoul is unable to retreat easily. He's going to get taken down. All right. Halfway up to level 4. Meanwhile, Dreadlord with Vampiric Aura level 1, able to clear out some more creep camps and provide a bit of healing to the Null Wardens. Tech to tier 2 for an undead player 8 minutes into the game, still not up and running as of yet, as there are some skeletal minions trying to offer a bit of protection. All right, footmen now looking to retreat back. GodFather has slightly larger army, but that's also because, well, he doesn't have any ghouls, or only 1 ghoul, 2 ghoul, or 3 ghouls? Yeah, 3 ghouls on the lumber line for now. All right, Sea Turtle's taken down. Archmage still sitting strongly at level 3, and this game has not opened up in any predictable manner so far. We're nearing the 9-minute mark of the game, and we just now see tech to tier 2 on one side. GodFather has not tech to tier 2 yet, as I'm just trying to, well, figure out the pacing of this game. Sometimes trying to go for an unorthodox opening causes other players to, well, just falter in their types of strategies. We're going to see the Archmage, who does have a Staff of Teleportation, try and get away here. A little bit more damage. A ghoul could get taken down. Water Elemental trying to figure it out. Yes, does take it down there. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Archmage is able to back around here. But now we're going to see the Dreadlord perhaps catching some Water Elementals and some other footmen. All right, Water Elemental getting taken down there. Carrion Swarm dealing a bit of damage, able to provide a bit of cover, as the Dreadlord now looks to finish off some other ghouls as well. Dreadlord sitting at level 4, perhaps going to go after those low hit point footmen, but the footmen already with Scroll of Regeneration and retreating back nicely. Dreadlord continuing to, well, rack up damage across all of these units. Tech to tier 2 just now begun, as well as we're getting to the 10-minute mark. Still no sign of tier 2, well, tier 2 completing or their strategies. No second heroes indications. And, well, just trying to predict what these players want to do. Now, when you go for unorthodox openings, it throws you and your opponent off, and it's generally whoever is better at, well, adapting to the current situation. It's kind of like playing, if you were forced to play a blind chess match against a master, you would generally open up with a very unorthodox opening, just because you know your opponent has a harder time trying to predict and trying to see the overall pacing and having that understanding of that game. That's what this game looks like to me, as Ag3nt is only at 22 supply, sitting on 800 gold. Detect to tier 2 is now done and getting that Mountain King, and now going into, well, I believe rifle casters, getting up some priests and some riflemen. Should be getting that long range rifle here in just a moment. Bleak kill, first time seeing it. Alright. Coming back through, yeah, never seen this particular hero name either. So Dreadlord going after this water elemental here. Gonna perhaps just try and get a little bit of bonus experience. That may end up just getting denied once more. Funny thing is that the Carrion Swarm gets that last bit of experience, and now only 112 experience away from that next level. GodFather nearing that tech to tier 2, getting up a graveyard. That's gonna perhaps delay, I believe you need the graveyard for the slaughterhouse, and may try and go for a Lich Train and tech to tier 3 very, very quickly, as he wants to eventually get to destroyers. Circlet of Nobility getting picked up right there. What is that? Dust of Appearance being left behind here. Dreadlord now sitting at level 5. Not quite sure what the Dust of Appearance was going up against, as we didn't see invisibility as of yet. And, well, no real chance of, well, Shadow Meld or anything of that nature. Mountain King picks up a Robe of Magi, already at +8 intelligence with 345 mana at level 1. Meanwhile, Dreadlord is going to try to line up a bit of damage, perhaps take down some of these units. Peasants are getting ensnared, and here we are going after all of this here. He has the Potion of Invisibility, going to go ahead, head behind enemy lines and say, I too can cause problems, cause problems inside your base. Dreadlord running alongside all of these units. Invisibility not yet coming to an end. Dreadlord now looking to come back around the other side here. In come a couple of ghouls. They're going to be absorbing some damage, but there is dual arcane towers. There's that Carrion Swarm. They're trying to run away, and they end up running into a sea of ghouls as the Dreadlord is just racking up all of that damage here. All right, more and more peasants trying to retreat back. Are we going to be looking? Oh, there is that arcane tower. Dual arcane tower causing problems. Staff of Teleportation trying to head back out as the ghouls will run back home as well. All right, Archmage, Priest gonna go ahead and head back to work. Worker count down to 7 for Agent, so a good number of workers were taken down there. Lumber count, however, is still fairly decent. Towers trying to be retrained as Agent perhaps was not expecting the invisible Dreadlord to walk on in, get in some Carrion Swarms, and then just cause so many problems. He also has a Potion of Mana for himself as well to try and put down pressure. Meanwhile, Archmage trying to get that Mountain King to level 2 and eventually level 3. You up for 4v4 if I can get reps? Sure. 4v4, yeah. I'll try to do less play-by-play and do more strategies. But yeah, if you can get them, definitely have some fun with some larger 4v4, 2 Chinese, 1 Korean, and 1 Euro team. Sounds like a lot of fun. I wonder which Chinese or Korean team will win.
Players' forces are under attack.
I'm saying that because I think most likely they will be hosted on the Asian servers, making the ping a little bit better for both China and Korea teams. Anyways, coming back around here, well, GodFather still has 10 minutes of mining left back at home. Meanwhile, a little 9 minutes left for Agent, still at tier 2. Meanwhile, GodFather is at tier 3, but surprisingly, we don't see a slaughterhouse. We don't see a slaughterhouse. We don't see a third hero either. So, or second or third hero. So no use of that. Well, there's another invisibility. Goblin Zeppelin picking up, dropping back down as the riflemen there offering a bit of deterrence, as the peasants now being forced to retreat away and perhaps needing to train up more peasants. There goes another 2 peasants getting taken down, and the Goblin Zeppelin trying to run back around, as the Goblin Zeppelin could end up being destroyed. All right, one Dreadlord just causing problems, taking down more and more peasants over and over. Take down to 5 as the Dreadlord retreats back home. Euros 1, 3, what, really?
A player's forces are
Oh,
under attack.
well, maybe... well, very, very nice. Then again, I think a lot more, in a 4v4 tournament, I'm actually surprised sometimes the European players often take a little bit more time to have fun playing WarCraft 3, so they play 2v2s and 3v3s, which, is obviously closer to 4v4s, and have better strategies. Mountain King comes in with a level 2 Thunderclap straight off the bat, slowing things down and perhaps dealing a lot of damage to those ghouls. I believe a Scroll of Healing was used to counteract that. There's another Scroll of Healing again, by the other side, as we see a big sleep onto that Mountain King. Mountain King needs to get woken back up, has Thunderclap ready to go. Are we going to see another Thunderclap right here? There it is, and that is just slow clapping the entire ghoul army to death, as the Water Elementals and the Mountain King continue to battle up. 32 supply compared to 32 supply. Mountain King with 390 maximum mana, coupled with a Mana Stone and Brilliance Aura,
Player's forces are
able
under
to
attack.
churn out the spells and deal massive damage. All right, coming back around, Rifleman going to end up getting taken down here. Yeah, definitely get me those replays if you can. Mountain King comes across. There's a Stormbolt onto the Dreadlord. Dreadlord, however, very close to level 6 as the Dreadlord now tries to retreat back. How much damage does he need to do? He can turn around, get a Carrion Swarm onto that Sorceress, and then finish and get up to level 6 right there, and perhaps getting a little bit more damage. In comes the Sorceress. It's going to come back around.
A player's
Sorceress is
forces
already
are
at
under attack.
183 hit points. However, very gung-ho and jumps on in as the Dreadlord now is at level 6 here. Off to the north, the ghouls were able to get some damage onto some of those peasants. The guard tower able to deter back all of those units as well. And, well, what's the strategy now? The strategy is have the ghouls be where the Mountain King is not. By having the ghouls swarm inside the main base while the Mountain King was trying to pressure the Dreadlord, the ghouls were actually able to do a good amount of damage here, as we see a Stormbolt now straight up onto the Dreadlord. Only level 1 Stormbolt, really not that bad, as we see a couple of slows now come across. Dreadlord is in a bit of trouble, though. That Staff of Teleportation is on cooldown. Mountain King could easily get off another Stormbolt right there. Are we going to see an Infernal Summon? Yes, we do. Infernal Summon crashes down in from the sky, dealing massive damage. There's another Carrion Swarm right there. Potion of Healing used as well, as the Gargoyles are now coming back around. Mountain King may try to get off another Stormbolt there. Does get off another Stormbolt, but the Infernal is chasing. In come a swarm of ghouls here. There's a Massive Thunderclap as the Mana Stone was used right there, taking down more ghouls as well. Taking down 3 ghouls as the teleportation is underway to get them all back home. Beautiful play by Ag3nt, using the Mana Stone, recognizing the situation, didn't have time to drop the Robe of Magi and pick it back up, but still did a massive amount of damage to all of those units right there, getting closer to level 4. Archmage is still sitting strong at level 5. Meanwhile, Dreadlord first Infernal coming in from the sky, able to drop in, deal a massive amount of damage, make his presence known, as we're looking at invisibility on the Dreadlord once more. Dreadlord solo.
A player's
Well,
forces
this
are
game
under
has been just
attack.
absolutely bonkers on both sides. And I wouldn't say it's working, and it's hard to gauge a game like this when it's just absolutely unorthodox. If you said, hey, we're 20 minutes into a game in a human versus undead, and the undead player has, well, the undead player has a 26 supply army. You're like, wait, what happened? And then the human player has a 36 supply army. And by the way, none of them have expansions, and they didn't tech the tier 2 or finish teching the tier
A
2
player's
until around the
forces are
9 or
under
10 minute
attack.
mark. And you wouldn't really quite know what to make of it, as the Infernal is just dancing around back across over here, trying to let his cloak or his Infernal damage by standing close to him just deal damage to multiple units. You can see him trying to rack up damage onto that Arcane Tower, not really going to get that far, but all of the casters here are unable to deal any damage to him as he is immune to magic. Coming back through, Dreadlord sitting at level 6. Gargoyles out in the air here. Slaughterhouse. We are finally getting obsidian statues and destroyers joining in on the fight. But what real heavy units do we see anywhere out on the map? Perhaps just trying to devour magic, the slow, and those water elementals, as the gargoyles are having a bit of a difficult time going up against all of these water elementals currently. Taking down the water elementals and then only leaving the gargoyles to deal with the riflemen with a good number of, well, ghouls on the
Player's
ground as
forces
well.
are
We
under
also
attack.
see the arcane sentry has been researched by all of these arcane towers and guard towers, preventing any more invisible play from that Dreadlord. All right, Gargoyle is going to be hanging off to the side here. Obsidian statue still getting trained. We are going into dual slaughterhouses. So Godfather really wanting to crank out units from that slaughterhouse suddenly, as still no real indication or sign
A
of
player's
what is going to
forces
be
are under
happening
attack.
next. All right, Water Elemental off to the north by itself, clearing up some creep camps. That healer still doing a bit of healing by its lonesome self. And yeah, this game is still strange. Trying to make predictions. 1-0 upgrades going up against 2-0 Ghoul Frenzy. Gargoyle is going to be going after all of these units here. Gargoyles perhaps really hoping that there was some sort of air unit that they can use melee attacks on to, well, regenerate their hit points because of that vampiric aura. Back off to the north, well, mass casters, rifle casters, sorceress, mountain king sitting at level 4, and this transition into the air is to try and nullify the effectiveness of that mountain king and its thunderclap. But unfortunately, that's just gonna mean if the mountain king doesn't have to use mana on the ground units, he's just gonna go straight after straight after that Dreadlord, and the Dreadlord really needs more survivability items than just that potion of invulnerability. All right, Wand of Illusion is also available. If he casts it on himself a couple of times as well, that should work out well. Is he close enough on Blight? Well, does have an Abomination out as well to cause a bit of problems, and getting the illusion on the Abomination and then one illusion on the Dreadlord would perhaps be perfect to just make his army look that much larger. All right, looking, oh nope, goes triple Abominations there. And you look at this army, this undead army, and you think to yourself, this army looks absolutely so large. Even removing the abomination illusions, how is he only at 41 supply? Remember, this is solo Dreadlord. Normally, undead players at this point in stage in the game have 2 additional heroes, and that is why this army looks like it should be much bigger. Except for wait, there's no Death Knight, no Lich, no other hero supporting. So it is a 46 supply army going up against 48 with solo hero only. All right, we are getting up a workshop as well. Rifleman going to go ahead and engage. Are we going to see an Inferno? Yes, come on down. There goes the Carrion Swarm, racking up all of that damage. The Abomination illusions are absorbing quite a bit of damage as well as the Infernal, causing a bit of problems. Mountain King comes in with the Thunderclap. There goes a Stormbolt onto Illusion, and Agent now has to wonder which one is the real one, as the units are now looking to back away. 44 supply compared to 42. Both sides still trying to engage. There is another Thunderclap right there. Both of those Abominations are the real deal, as the Destroyers should be trying to eat up some more of those Water Elementals to try and keep those units alive. More Thunderclaps coming back on through. Abomination could end up getting taken down. Meanwhile, more units are trying to engage here, as the Carrion Swarm really starting to take a toll on this entire back line once they try to get into position here. Archmage, is it going to end up getting taken down? No, Thunderclap trying to save all of the rest of the ground units. We could be looking at a Carrion Swarm. The units are going to go ahead and all teleport back away, as the Dreadlord does have a potion of mana. Should really just try and Carrion Swarm this position right here, as the Dreadlord is absorbing quite a bit of damage. Meanwhile, the Mountain King still continuing to battle it up. Are we going to perhaps be looking at a sleep, as the Mountain King now trying to get back away again? All of those units were lined up so tightly and closely together with the Scroll of Regeneration. You wanted to offset much of that damage and disrupt that healing if possible, as the Dreadlord still wandering around fighting right in this position here. All right, Abomination going after the Rifleman there, still adding up more damage. Meanwhile, the Archmage was trapped because of the guard tower, finally able to break free, but not after, well, the Dreadlord was able to run around on the outside of his base, as the Archmage was stuck behind the lines. All right, Dreadlord continuing the fight here. Mountain King does pick up a potion of healing. Dreadlord trying to catch back up the other way. Meanwhile, the Archmage is going to try to dive in again. And what is going down? Stormbolt onto the Dreadlord. Dreadlord still has a potion of invulnerability if it is needed, as the Water Elementals are still going and doing quite a bit of damage. Potion of Mana was finally used, as we see another Water Elemental getting taken down there. Dreadlord sitting at level 7, nearing level 8. A couple of Abominations could be headed back, as solo hero play seems to be working, as more Abominations are now making their way out onto the battlefield. No Obsidian, well, one Obsidian statue is left in this party, of doing what Essence of Blight and Essence of Mana whenever possible, trying to give more mana to that Destroyer. Excuse me, to that Dreadlord, as the Destroyers are, well, living up to their name again. All right, in comes a couple more Abominations. Perhaps that low hit point Abomination should just try and retreat and return back home. Nope, level 2 Stormbolt, and he quickly gets taken down right there. Disease Cloud passing through once more. Mountain King trying to finish off some of these units. 45 supply compared to 38, but now trying to fight on Blight. It does not sound like a good idea, as there is a handful of Destroyers in the air ready to go. All right, Destroyers off to the side here. Obsidian statue down to 124 hit points. It's going to try and retreat back, going straight after that back line, as the Abominations could try and make their way over. No more mining happening inside the base at all. Dreadlord still has a decent amount of mana. He's trying to force a fight inside his base, and Agent's wondering to himself, why would he do such a thing? Why would he try to chase inside an undead base with so many cold towers here? Dreadlord now with dual potions of mana should be able to summon down another Infernal here in just a moment, catch some of these units off guards. Guard towers are now, well, destroyers are now trying to make their way back over. Is this going to be enough? One bad stun is all that is needed, as the destroyers could have easily devoured some magic. Abominations need to get into that position there. There's a big stun on that backline side as the destroyers and now obsidian statues are fighting together here. Dreadlord gets up to level 8. There's a carry-on swarm ripping through all of those units. The units are now trying to back away, and well, this is going to be a big fight here. No easy way to reveal any of these units here, as we see a Stormbolt go down onto the Dreadlord, seeing that level 8. There's followed up another Thunderclap and Stormbolt there, as we see invisibility rip on through again. Dreadlord could try and get some damage, finds the Archmage. Archmage is going to be in some serious trouble, as the Archmage is just standing there. Even if it is invisible, will end up taking a lot more damage, as he will end up getting taken down by a carry-on swarm. Level 5 Archmage falls. This should give the Dreadlord level plenty of opportunity, but the Dreadlord now currently stunned, in a little bit of trouble. Carry-on swarm ripping back through the other way. Mountain King wants to finish off the Dreadlord. Who's going to die first, the level 8 Dreadlord or the level 4 Mountain King, as he retreats back? But with that said, the Mountain King cannot let this expansion start mining freely, as this could become a problem. Mountain King currently invisible. Carry-on swarm, Stormbolt onto the Dreadlord. Dreadlord not suspecting the invisible Mountain King. Meanwhile, is he going to be able to stay alive? There's the carry-on swarm. There's the GG. Level 9 Dreadlord ends up coming out on top. GodFather using a solo Dreadlord hero going up against a classic Archmage versus Mountain King, able to come away with the victory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.